another episode of Transmission. Today we have Sean from BitHalo. Hi, Sean. Thanks for being on with us today.
Thanks a lot for having me, Theo. Super cool, man.
Yes, BitHalo is a really cool project, and I found out about it at Cryptolina when I visited. I hadn't heard of it before, and I think it's going to be really helpful to the future. And I also like that it doesn't have a coin or didn't have an IPO and these type of things that we see a lot right now. But before we get into
Sure.
all that, um, BitHalo enables us to use smart contracts, right, Sean?
Correct.
And
Correct,
so
Theo.
tell us, what makes a contract smart?
Sure, absolutely. I'm glad you asked. Um, it's one of those things where I guess it can be a little open to interpretation. But for the most part, it's a contract that enforces itself, kind of solves itself. Um, the idea was first tossed around, I think, actually in like the 90s, oddly enough. Nick Szabo and stuff. And he had some really cool ideas where kind of like there was one where I think it was with leasing a car, and that if you didn't pay your money, the car would basically, in a sense, like the keys would return themselves, the car would like drive itself back and kind of like solve itself and force itself. Um, so yeah, we haven't done anything like that yet. But what we have done is David Zimbeck, the founder and creator, he figured out a way to make people enforce the contracts themselves with double deposit escrow.
Okay, so you
So
were
with that
talking
being said,
about.
I mean,
Go on.
well, there's a few other ideas out there, but as far as we can see right now, as far as we know, that's the only true kind of smart contracting out right now.
Okay, well, I can agree with you in to somewhat. I mean, a lot of things are called smart, or actually, a lot of things are called smart asset, not smart contract. But I agree with you that I haven't seen many others. If anyone knows of any other smart contracts that are live, that are not theories or white papers, which are all really cool, but BitHalo is in beta and you can really use it right now. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah, it's at bithalo.org. And let me elaborate a little bit too, because there's a lot of really cool and fun ideas out there. There's a
Mhm.
lot of stuff happening with the blockchain, and you can, we could
Well,
put contracts and sign them on.
well, first, can you just kind of elaborate more? So you use the word double deposit escrow. Just
Mm-hmm.
explain to us what you mean by double deposit escrow first.
Sure. So, just like it sounds, basically it's say I'm doing, a contract, a smart contract with somebody this form of contracting. I'm going to put up a deposit, and then the counterparty is going to put up a deposit as well. And this is to assure that the deal goes well, and that we both have to work to make it go smoothly to have an optimal outcome. One can
Okay,
pick
so
the level of the amount of deposits and stuff, but yeah, you know, you're going to
so
want to
both
be around maybe the same amount or even. Go ahead.
okay, so both parties are motivated to work the contract out with the double deposit escrow. That's the main concept,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah. So
Okay.
so let me elaborate on that. So
Hmm.
say let's say I need assurance on a deal, Theo. Maybe it's an international deal or something, and I need assurance that it's gonna go smoothly. I don't want to get ripped off. Then I'm going to propose this BitHalo smart contract, and if they agree to it, then I need to uh, make sure I do my end to get back whatever deposit I put up, and I'm probably going to make that deposit equal to or greater than the value of what the deal is, so that both parties really got to be like, hey, I need to do this legit, so that I need my deposit back now. This doesn't make sense.
Okay, so both parties are financially motivated to get this deal done. And okay, that sounds good,
Mhm.
but how is the contract really enforced then? I mean, I see why I'm motivated because I put a lot of I put a big deposit down, and I don't get my deposit back unless the contract is fulfilled. But how is the contract enforced? What happens in a worst case scenario where we can't come to an agreement?
Well, you may want to be careful when what kind of contract you're doing if you can't come to an agreement. I mean, this isn't it's not like a arbitration or something where it's like let's put up deposits until we figure this out. It's like, all right, here's the deal, here's the terms, here's the time limit. If you want to do this deal, then we need to do it on BitHalo contract so we can make sure that this is legit. You know, and we're going to time it on this amount of time, which you can choose. So maybe it's 2 days, maybe it's 2 years, maybe it's 2 hours. And if the contract is not, if both sides aren't completed and signed off on, then the money's destroyed. The Bitcoin or black coin deposits are destroyed, and they're sent to an unspendable address. We're happy to broadcast that address too.
Okay, so basically, this is good for a lot of things, but it's not suitable for all kinds of transactions, is what you're trying to say,
Well,
right?
it's up to the person. It's up to the people.
Sure,
You know.
of course. Okay, I'm just saying, I don't know. I think I already went through a few theoretical scenarios where where I thought, okay, that would be really bad, but I don't know. You want to hire me because I'm doing some freelancing online. That's a common thing where let's say I want to I want to hire someone to write some articles, and I hire you, and you break your leg, and but we've already made the contract, and there's no way that you're in the hospital, and there's no way you're going to be able to fulfill your end of the contract. I guess I could just and if I so how would that work out? Then they'll just be destroyed, basically, right?
Well, why can't I just talk to the person and let them know what's happening and say, hey, this is what happened. Let's sign off and cancel the deal. Let's alter this contract. If we void it
Oh, okay.
together, we
So you
both
can
got our
just
deposits back. We
cancel
just
it.
sign off. Sure. Yeah, we can sign off. You see what I'm saying? Because it's going to be an open offers on our thing. I mean, like now, unless one party says no, then then you got a problem. But
Okay.
if I'm doing a deal with someone I hired and you break their leg, I'm probably gonna be like, all right, yeah, cool, man. Like, let me see the cast. Let me see what's up.
So as long as both parties agree, then you can cancel the contract.
Sure.
Okay, that sounds reasonable. Okay, so this sounds really interesting. So how much does BitHalo cost?
It's free. It's free.
There's no
There is
hidden
a
costs or fees or something like that?
no, just the same fee that you pay when you send Bitcoin, like 0.0002. That you pay the miners when you're sending because you're sending. You know, there's
Okay,
that
so
fee. So
mhm.
it's
So
minuscule.
is this open source software, or is it closed source, or what's the status of that?
It's not open source yet, but when it's out of beta, it will be open source. We'd like to get a good foothold and like kind of get a head start because it can be a hostile market. Like we have David has a cool idea, we have some stuff out, and then all of a sudden there could be like competitors doing it. And it's just like so we'd like to get a head start. We'd like to get more ahead with Night Trader, which is a decentralized exchange project we're working on. I'd like to get some more done with that before we open source the code. But we will do that in the future. We're also open to audits. So if people want to audit, please submit your, request. There's nothing to hide here.
Okay, sounds really interesting. Yeah, I was just asking that because you said it's free, and then I wondered if it's open source. So, but I see what you mean. You're gonna open it a little bit later. Why doesn't BitHalo have a blockchain or a coin? I mean, a lot of these systems that are talking about contracts and these kind of things say, okay, we've got a contract and we're going to put it in the blockchain and then it's there forever and it's transparent and because you can't manipulate the blockchain, that's safe. So BitHalo doesn't have a blockchain and it doesn't have a coin. So how does it work exactly?
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned about people putting stuff on the blockchain as though it's like once it's on the blockchain, it's like voila, like everything's all right. Because that, in my opinion, isn't a smart contract because how does that contract enforce itself? You see, I can make a contract with someone and I can post one on every light pole in America, in the world, so that everybody can see. But does that mean that some like militia is going to gather together and enforce it if someone breaches it? That's not a smart contract. It doesn't enforce itself. It's a fancy contract. It's definitely fancy. It's cool. It's good. It's interesting. I like what they're doing, but it's not smart contracting in my opinion. And it comes up a lot. People ask about stuff like that. And, they ask that is a competitive realm, and it's like, in my opinion, that's not competition. It's different, something different. Whatever they're doing, God bless them. It's cool. And it's cool. I just see it as different. So,
Okay, I see. I understand what you mean totally. So if I understand right, BitHalo, it's more like a wallet with a lot of features. And at the moment, you can store Bitcoin and Blackcoin in the wallet, right?
yeah, there's a toggle switch right on it. You can switch back and forth. It's really awesome, man. It's cool stuff, and I want more people to know about it and like, check it out. It's got
So
like, so go
are
ahead.
you going to add a Dogecoin or what?
Dogecoin is in the talks of being the next coin in. It's been that it's been public knowledge for a while. David's talked about that a lot. I don't know if I can comment fully on if like that's what's going to happen, but yeah, definitely David loves Dogecoin. So
Okay, cool. I was joking, but yeah. I mean, it's a popular coin.
no,
I
no,
think it has a high hash
yeah.
rate and
I tried to reach out to them. I had some questions about Dogecoin and we had some questions. It's like we don't know everything in the world. I mean, we can find out what we need to know. I had some questions myself. I also wanted to know, because like, for instance, Black Coin community has been absolutely amazing. They're a beautiful community, and they've been so supportive, and they retweet and they share, and I mean, they're just outstanding. And we just want to know if we're gonna have support like that, if we put Dogecoin in next. And I could not get a hold of any of them. And I'm like, geez, how do you get a hold of people here? And I found a chat room, and it was like I just asked, I said, hey, like, what if I want to get in contact with someone? Is there a way? And it was just like much dog and like much I don't even know. It's just like, man, like, all right, all
it's great.
right, like, right on, man, So
Well, I know they have a good community and it's really big and but I
they
have
do.
no
I'm
idea. I
not
have
against
no
them.
I
I just thought it was.
Yeah, it is funny. I have no idea how it's organized.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say the reason I say this in public is just because I want them to know, like, hey, like, you guys might want to, I had trouble contacting. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, I hold some of their coin. We like them. They're cool, man. And they have like, it's cool. It's a cool thing, you know. So
Well, I don't know if there's
power to
something
dog.
like Dogecoin Dogecoin Foundation or Wow Foundation or whatever. I know there's Blackcoin Foundation, I think. There's kind of like a central organ that kind of acts as a contact point for the community, I think. But I guess for Doge there is something like that. But we can talk about Doge another episode. I think I've got some more questions about BitHalo. Hold on. So yeah, there's also a big issue go people are throwing around is about being anonymous. So can BitHalo be anonymous?
Yeah, yeah, and here's the thing with that, like, absolutely, it can be absolutely like we didn't set out and it's like let's make some like anon, like that's not like where like David's head was at. His head was just basically like his head was like wanting something like he like legitimately David wants to help crypto. Like he's a great dude. And I love working for him and under him. And we didn't set out like, oh, let's make, another anonymous feature. Like non's cool and everything, but it's like that's just saying it wasn't like what we set out to do. Um, what he wanted to do was prevent Mount Gox type stuff. It rubs us all wrong. It rubs us really nasty. Like the whole reason a lot of us, I think, got involved in crypto is to kind of like say like, screw the man, dude. Like these like, a lot of these like, there's a lot of powerful, coercive like entities, whether it be like the Fed or whether it be corporations, certain corporations and stuff like that, that just think they can do whatever. And they charge fees and this and that, and so it's like crypto is kind of a way to be like, hey, you know what? We have a voice, we have options. And as far as the non-feature, um, this is something called cross-chain transacting, and it's basically as anonymous as you want to be. It's juice, some e-liquid for electronic cigarettes. This is all on different blockchains. It's all uncorrelated. So as long as we don't leave a paper trail, it's now if we leave like like ticket slips like oh like I sent it here to Theo Goodman, like then it's not technically anonymous. So it's as anonymous as you want to be. Now if we shift it to like a different address or like kind of like wherever however you want to anonymize that, then there's no it is anonymous. And in fact, it's very simple yet really more anonymous than anything out when you transact like this cross chain.
Okay, so the main thing is that you can do cross chain, not cross train, cross chain transactions.
Cross
Um,
chain.
right. Sounds cool too. Maybe that's the next level. Uh,
That's out. That's
all right, so
that's another episode.
yeah, that's another episode. That's another coin. I'm gonna generate a new coin. It's gonna be called Cross
Hold
Train
press.
IPO. 1% pre-mine,
Yeah,
IPO,
IPO.
buy in now if anyone's watching. Yeah, it's anonymous. It's anonymous. It's ASIC resistant, and it's got a new algorithm. And we've created 5 blockchains, and every transaction goes across all 5. That's why it's called cross-train. Anyway, enough with the advertisement. So what's the future for BitHalo?
And that is, like it's cool because like that's a good thing. Like when you're in the startup, kind of doing the startup life, it's nice to like be like, hey man, there's a couple different options and there's some cool future ahead. Um, I'm gonna also say like let me say somewhere in here that like I like as far as like technicalities and like the worst and like so I'm just saying that I should have said it in advance. I'm saying it after. So if I said anything like kind of not really where my like I'm more of kind of like a
You're doing
marketing.
fine. You're doing fine.
Very cool. So the future, it has a broad reach because contracts themselves have a broad reach, right? I mean, I mean, like if I tell you that we're meeting for, hey, I'm gonna show up. You invited me to dinner at 7 p.m. In Germany, wherever you are. I'm gonna be there. We just made a social contract, right? I mean, there's contracts like that, and then there's real estate contracts. There's options contracts, derivatives. Whatever, man. Law contracts. It has a very wide reach. Trade and barter, implied contracts. You name it. I mean, there's every day we're contracting, and so although we've been advised and we agree that we want to keep it kind of narrowed to what we're doing at one time, focused to what's going to be most useful and effective. Or you most really most useful for everybody. Um, that we are trying to keep it narrow, but the future looks like this. Um, Updates on BitHalo, um, new features. The IRC and the client chat is really great, but we're going to do like even some more cooler stuff. Keep your eyes on that. Speeding it up. Also, Night Trader is probably the most exciting thing that we have coming up in the near future, and that's a completely decentralized exchange. And we don't like to talk too much about it, um, but just know that it's going to be different and it's going to be cool, and I'm really excited about that.
Okay, that sounds really interesting. We'll have to keep our eyes on that. So if we want to get updates, we just head over to bithalo.org and we can just see the updates on Night Trader and BitHalo and all that. And you can download the beta of BitHalo and you can already start using it, right?
Yeah, Windows beta is available. Linux will be pretty soon. Mac, we are so sorry on the wait. It's coming. We're a small team, and but trust me, I'm pushing. We will have Mac. We're not,
Okay,
forgetting
great.
about Mac.
Yeah, but that sounds good. You guys are, going to get Linux and Mac out. That's great. And Twitter at BitHalo official. Um, Anything else you want to tell our viewers today?
Uh, um, Not really, man. I want to thank you. It's really cool to be on here. I love your project. I've said this before, and I love the crypto community. I want, if you stop by, say hi on Twitter, wherever, and if I can help out if we can help out a project, that's a positive project, please, like, we would love to help in any way. So, yeah.
Okay, it sounds really good. All right, well, thanks for being on, and we'll keep in touch. And maybe when you guys have Night Trader going, then we can do a little talk about that.
Cool, man. Thanks for the interview, and hopefully I didn't blotch it too bad.
Okay. Okay. Bye. Thanks.
BitcoinTalk.org is the main Bitcoin discussion forum for tech support, mining, development, and economics. Bitcoin Talk helped bring Bitcoin to life by connecting people with similar goals and showcasing great ideas for all to see. But forums aren't for everybody. Bitcoin Talk Show brings the discussion from the boring world of a text-based forum to the exciting and approachable world of a live interactive video hangout. Every Wednesday afternoon, join me, Derek J, on the World Crypto Network as a rotating set of expert hosts take your calls about anything Bitcoin. Ask a question, make a comment, or take control and share your latest project with the world. Watch past episodes at bitcointalkshow.com and get interactive with our live weekly show by calling 1-708-23-COINS, Skype Bitcoin Talk Show, or tweet at BTC Talk. Bring your great ideas, and we'll see you next week on the World Crypto Network.
And now for this week's search trends. We've got the last 90 days on some of the altcoins: Litecoin, Dogecoin, Darkcoin, and Ripple. Okay, in the last 90 days, here's the interest in some of the top altcoin exchanges: BTCE, Cryptsy, MintPal, and Bittrex. Over the past 7 days, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin, Tor, and NSA. And over the last 90 days, this is what it looks like. All right, let's look at this weekly's trends for Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dogecoin, Tor, NSA. Regional interest. There's not enough volume for Litecoin, Doge, or Dogecoin, but there is enough search volume to show you that the top cities for searches this week for Bitcoin were New York and London. And, big surprise, United States, United Kingdom. There's some interesting numbers over at Tor, or some results. Germany, United Kingdom, United States, India. And here you can see the cities. For Bitcoin, similar search terms as last week, of course. Bitcoin wallet still on the list. What is Bitcoin? Also on the list. I don't think that was on the list last week. Rising, not enough search volume. So this week didn't have as much search volume as some of the past weeks. And that is all for search trends this week. Trading news. Peercoin pretty much exploded in price during the same time that Bitcoin crashed. And a lot of this is due to the hype surrounding something called new bits, which we're not going to get into all the technical ramifications of new bits, but basically that's what's fueling a lot of the hype behind the Peercoin pump. And also a lot of people decided to jump into Peercoin at the same time Bitcoin crashed. And that's about it for the trading news.